Jamie, it's Grandy. I was going to read you a story. This is my favorite story. It's called The Velveteen Rabbit. It's by Marjorie Williams. There once was a Velveteen Rabbit, and in the beginning, he was really splendid. He was fat and bunchy, as a rabbit should be. His coat was spotted brown and white, and he had real thread whiskers, and his ears were lined with pink sateen. And on Christmas morning, when he sat wedged in the top of the boy's stocking with a sprig of holly between his paws, the effect was charming. There were other things in the stocking, nuts and oranges and a toy engine and chocolate almonds and a clockwork mouse. But the rabbit was the best of all. For at least 2 hours, the boy loved him. And then aunts and uncles came to dinner, and there was a great rustling of tissue paper and unwrapping of parcels, and in the excitement of looking at all the new presents, the Velveteen Rabbit was forgotten. Look, here are the pictures. Look, here's the bunny, right here. Do you have a bunny? Maybe Grandy will have to get you your own bunny for Christmas. What do you think? And here's the boy, just like you. You're a little boy. He looks a lot like you. He has the same color hair you do. For a long time, he lived in the toy cupboard or on the nursery floor, and no one thought very much about him. He was naturally shy, and being only made of velveteen, some of the more expensive toys quite snubbed him. The mechanical toys were very superior and looked down upon everyone else. They were full of modern ideas, and they pretended they were real. The model boat, who lived through 2 seasons and lost most of his paint, caught the tone from them and never missed an opportunity of referring to his rigging in technical terms. The rabbit could not claim to be a model of anything, for he didn't know what real rabbits were. He thought they were all stuffed with sawdust like himself, and he never understood that sawdust was quite out of date and should never be mentioned in modern circles. Even Timothy, the jointed wooden lion, who was made by the disabled soldiers and should have had broader views, put on airs and pretended he was connected with the government. Between them all, the poor little rabbit was made to feel himself very insignificant and commonplace, and the only person who was kind to him at all was the skin horse. All right, look, here's all the toys. Look, here's the lion and the soldiers, and look at that scary-looking clown with an umbrella and some cars. Does Jamie have any scary-looking clown toys? I hope not. No scary clown toys. The skin horse. Look, here's the skin horse. And look, here's the little bunny down here. The skin horse had lived longer in the nursery than any of the others. He was so old that his brown coat was bald in patches and showed the seams underneath, and most of the hairs in his tail had been pulled out to string bead necklaces. He was wise, for he had seen a long succession of mechanical toys arrive to boast and swagger, and by break their mainsprings and pass away, and he knew that they were only toys and would never turn into anything else, for nursery magic is very strange and wonderful, and only those playthings that are old and wise and experienced, like the skin horse, understand all about it. "What is real?" asked the rabbit one day when they were lying side by side near the nursery fender before Nana came to tidy the room. "Does it mean having things that buzz inside of you and a stick-out handle?" "Real isn't how you are made," said the skin horse. It's a thing that happens to you. When a child loves you for a long, long time, not just to play with, but really loves you, you become real. Does it hurt? Asked the rabbit. Sometimes, said the skin horse, for he was always truthful. When you are real, you don't mind being hurt. Does it happen all at once, like being wound up, he asked, or bit by bit? It doesn't happen all at once, said the skin horse. You become. It takes a long time. That's why it doesn't often happen to people who break easily, or who have sharp edges, or who have to be carefully kept. Generally, by the time you are real, most of your hair has been loved off, and your eyes drop out, and you get loose in the joints and very shabby, just like Grandy. But these things don't matter at all, because once you are real, you can't be ugly except to people who don't understand. I suppose you are real, said the rabbit, and then he wished he hadn't said that, for he thought that the skin horse might be sensitive. But the skin horse only smiled. The boy's uncle made me real, he said. That was a great many years ago. But once you are real, you can't become unreal again. It lasts for always. The rabbit sighed. He thought it would be a long time before this magic called real happened to him. He longed to become real, to know what it felt like. And yet the idea of growing shabby and losing his eyes and whiskers was rather sad. He wished that he could become it without these uncomfortable things happening to him. He doesn't want to get old. Look, here's the bunny right here. And there's the old skin horse. Look, he's very worn and old. And the bunny is sweet and cute and new. There was a person called Nana who ruled the nursery. Sometimes she took no notice of the playthings lying around, and sometimes, for no reason whatever, she went swooping around like a great wind and hustled them away in cupboards. She called this tidying up, and the playthings all hated it, especially the tin ones. The rabbit didn't mind it so much, for whenever he was thrown, he came down softly. Evening when the boy was going to bed, he couldn't find the dog that always slept with him. Nana was in a hurry, and it was too much trouble to hunt for china dogs at bedtime. So she simply looked about her, and seeing that the toy cupboard door was open, she made a swoop. Here, she said, take your old bunny. He'll do to sleep with you. And she dragged the rabbit out by one ear and put him in the boy's arms. That night, and for many nights after, the Velveteen Rabbit slept in the boy's bed. At first he found it really uncomfortable, for the boy hugged him very tight, and sometimes he rolled over on him, and sometimes he pushed him so far under the pillow that the rabbit couldn't breathe. And he missed, too, the long moonlight hours in the nursery, when all the house was silent, and he had talks with the skin horse. He missed his friends. Look. See all of his friends? But look, here he is with the boy, and they're sleeping in bed together, and they get to cuddle. But very soon he grew to like it, for the boy used to talk to him, and made nice tunnels for him under the bedclothes that he said were like the burrows that real rabbits live in. And they had splendid games together in whispers when Nana had gone away to supper and left the nightlight burning on the mantelpiece. And when the boy dropped off to sleep, the rabbit would snuggle down close under his warm chin and dream, with the boy's hands clasped close all around him all night long. And so time went on, and the little rabbit was very happy, so happy that he never noticed how his beautiful velveteen fur was getting shabbier and shabbier, and his tail was coming unsewn, and all the pink got rubbed off on his nosy, where the boy kissed him. Look, here's the bunny and the boy playing together. See? The bunny is hiding in the blankets. We're going to have to get Jamie a bunny. Look and they like to go outside and play together. Here's the boy and here's the bunny. And look, there's a little squirrel in the tree. And look, the boy's playing with a turtle. This is kind of a long story, huh? Maybe Mommy can play this story for you when it's bedtime. Spring came, and they had long days in the garden. And wherever the boy went, Rabbit went too. He had rides in the wheelbarrow and picnics on the grass and lovely fairy huts built for him under the raspberry canes below the flower border. And once, when the boy was called away suddenly to go out to tea, the rabbit was left out on the lawn until long after dusk. And Nana had to come look for him with the candle because the boy couldn't go to sleep unless he was there. He was wet through with the dew. Is that your doggy? Is that Mr. Loki dog? He's barking in the middle of our story. The rabbit was left out on the lawn until long after dusk, and Nana had to come and look for him with the candle because the boy couldn't go to sleep unless he was there. He was wet through with the dew and quite earthy from diving into the burrows the boy had made for him in the flower bed. And Nana grumbled as she rubbed him off with a corner of her apron. Okay, look, they left the poor bunny outside all night long, and Nana had to come and find him. Look, there's Nana. She's looking for him with her candle. Jamie would never leave his bunny or his piggy outside all night, would he? You must have your old bunny, I guess, she said. Fancy all that fuss for a toy. The boy sat up in bed and he stretched out his hands. Give me my bunny, he said. You mustn't say that. He isn't a toy. He's